We did Hansel and Gretel. About how they embarked on a journey to solve an equation. So this is the residents of Hansel and Gretel and the family, and they didn't really have a good life. As you can see, Hansel and Gretel's father were like very abusive. That's like the wife, and he's saying I hate my kids because like he hates his kids. That's a table, by the way. There's not a dog. So they had to leave home because they would only get fed like one piece of bread a day. Or actually, no, it'd be the leftovers of the stepmom, which is hated. So they packed clothes and they left. As they were going to the forest, these are breadcrumbs that they took to find their way back home. But as they kept on going, later on they realized that there was a sense of candy nearby. And Hansel thought it was a great idea to check how their breadcrumbs are doing. But surprise, surprise, there was birds. And birds like bread. So the whole path just disappeared, and now they couldn't find the way back home, even though it's a pretty straight path. It's stupid. Yeah, so they couldn't find the way back home. But they kept on going until they arrived at the House of Candy. Okay, so here at the House of Candy, they were so hungry that they started just eating the candy, even though they didn't know what it was made out of. It was even good to eat. So here's Hansel, I guess, eating the candy. I don't know. He ate the candy. That's pretty much it.
Okay, yeah. So and Gretel, yeah, but she's irrelevant.
The witch ended up seeing that both of the kids started eating the house. So the witch got real mad, and she told the kids to go inside. But she didn't show them that she was mad. She just acted like she didn't care, so she could lure the kids inside, yum, 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 and eventually eat them. So once they got inside, the witch ends up locking Hansel in the cage because he wants to keep him there and he wants to fatten him up so he could have a bigger piece to eat, so he can eat a lot more. And now 3 days pass, Hansel gets really fat, and Gretel is put to do a bunch of work around the house. And after 3 days, the witch proposes something to Gretel, since she's just doing a bunch of work.
If you can teach me how to solve this equation, I will let you and your brother go.
Yeah, so the equation that she proposes...
The equation?
Yeah, 2x squared minus 5 minus 3 over x minus 3. So how Hansel solved this was Gretel solved this was he used the x formula, which is a b c. So a times c, which right here will give you -6 to the top one, and b goes in the bottom.
Bars.
Now we gotta find the two numbers that add up to get -5 multiplied to get -6.
Dun, dun, dun.
And that is negative. Wait, no, that's 5.
Yeah, that's. So it's -6 and 1. Yep.
-6 and 1. Yeah. Once they got this, they can make a bigger equation.
Oh.
2x squared minus 6 plus 6x plus x minus 3.
Ooh.
And with
Minus
this,
3. Minus 3.
they could,
I'm the ad-libs.
I guess, simplify it, make it into a 2 smaller rationals, or whatever you call them. And to do this, you would have to like see what could go into both of these, which is 2. So 2 goes on the outside, and then x, or 2x goes on the outside because it's x squared. And it'd be x here.
Gretel hella smart for like a 2-year-old, bro.
Minus 3. And now you gotta find what goes in x minus 3 into whatever this is. That would be 1. 1 because, yeah.
1.
X
1.
minus
I'm the ad-libs.
3.
1.
It'd still be x minus 3. That'll make it the same. Now you got x minus 3 and 2x plus 1. So you put both of them to an equation, 2x plus 1
and then x minus 3. So now we have these two over x minus 3. And these two are the same, so you can just cross them out. Now you're left with 2x plus 1.
Draw a box around it to make sure they know that that's the final answer.
That's the answer.
By the way, these numbers are real and they're floating over in real time, but they don't notice the big floating numbers. So.
Yeah.
But what Gretel didn't know was that the equation wasn't gonna free Gretel and her brother. What was it for?
It was for the furnace, because that's how furnaces work. You have to solve a rational equation to turn on a furnace. That's just how it works. So the witch goes into the furnace and starts turning it on. She opens the door for the furnace, but then Gretel uses this chance to push the witch inside the furnace, and she burns up and she's gone.
Guy's a horrible dad. And then,
Gretel saves Hansel.
yeah, as you can see, he got let out of it here. So then, what happens after that?
After that, Hansel and Gretel had a whole house to keep because all they ate was just the door.
Yeah, so
So they sold the house.
yeah, at the end, real estate agents came in, started asking about the house. Hansel and Gretel agreed. They got rich. They forgot about their abusive father. Ignore him. And they lived a life that was happy. Yeah, happily ever after for these two weird people.